Hello, today I'll be going over the first section of the Academic Decathlon Art Resource Guide. And to first start, we're going to be in Section 1, Art Fundamentals, Introduction to Art History. Methods and Inquiries of Art History. Art history overlaps with aesthetics in art criticism. Aesthetics is the philosophical inquiry into the nature and expression of beauty. Art criticism, on the other hand, is the explanation of current art to the general public through the press. Today, historians define art broadly as any kind of visual material that is created by people and has special meaning and/or aesthetic appeal. In the past, they only considered fine art, which generally included paintings, prints, drawings, sculptures, and architecture. Today, we also take into consideration objects dismissed as craft, such as textiles, pottery, body art, such as tattoos, or even mass-produced posters. Art historians also acknowledge that the meaning of a work of art can shift over time. Differences in social status, education, physical access to the work of art, religious background, race, and gender create different perceptions of the meaning of art. There are two modes of analysis that art historians use. One, there's formal analysis, and two, contextual analysis. Formal analysis focuses on the visual qualities of the work itself. It is the basic assumption in formal analysis that the artist makes decisions on the visual aspects to reveal a meaning. So, formal analysis is just looking at the picture, nothing else. You're just looking and inspecting that piece of art. And then the next uh, mode of analysis is contextual analysis. And different from formal analysis, you're looking outside the piece of art and trying to find the meaning. You're basically thinking outside the box. It focuses on the cultural, social, religious, and economic context. They may even examine issues of patronage, viewer access to work, physical location, and cost in relation to other works. Art history emphasizes chronological development, with the assumption that one generation of artists will have an impact on the following generations. For example, comparing Gothic and Renaissance artwork, we can understand stylistic changes that led from one to another. Art historians begin their examination with direct examination. This is ideal because much is lost in a reproduction rather than the original. Photographs lose their texture and their three-dimensional sense. They may even rely on earlier descriptions to aid their formal and contextual analysis. Art historians may use written sources for contextual information about a work of art too. They are often stored in archives and may include letters from an artist to a patron. They will also look for information on the materials used, cost, and function of the work of art. Art historians may also rely on interviews with artists and the consumers of works of art. This is especially the case for cultures that rely on oral history. They may also use methods such as participant observation, where the historian will actually participate in the work of art. For example, an art historian may study masquerade traditions in West Africa, and they will participate in the performance while documenting. Art history arose in the mid 18th century. We can look at how art has evolved with the earlier works of artists. For example, the ancient Roman historian Pliny the Elder sought to analyze historical and contemporary art in his text, Natural History. During the Renaissance, Giorgio Vasari gathered biographies of Italian artists of the past and the present in the lives of the artists. His work gave insight into the changing roles of artists in society. Modern art history was strongly influenced by Enlightenment philosophy. German scholar Joachim Winckelmann shifted away from Vasari's biographical emphasis to rigorous study related to historical context. Overall, we need to keep in mind that all histories are individual and ultimately reflect biases. Recently, art history has been revised, particularly by feminist historians, noted that most of art history has largely focused on white men. Today, art history has expanded its scope and is more international and inclusive than in the past. And this is the end for this section of this video. Thank you for watching.